Okay, welcome back, everyone. Here we go with the next SketchUp project. Um, Before we jump into the new one, I just want to very quickly sketch the one that I assigned the other day, and just point out a couple of things. So there's the base piece, and I need the push-pull tool, which is here. Okay, raise that up. Now, here's what I asked you to do. I asked you to group things, and what I'm getting back from people is most people are getting it. Most people sent me two pictures, one grouped and one ungrouped. Um, but I got a couple that were not grouped, that were just all together as a solid mass. So here's what I mean when you're drawing a project. Draw one piece of the project at a time and then group it. Here's one piece of this project. So I'm going to triple click, 1, 2, 3, that selects the whole thing. You can also pull from the lower right to the upper left, like that, and put a box around the project and let go, and there you go. That's grouped. Same thing, okay? And then I right click and I make it a group, okay? And now that's a group, so now nothing can really attach itself to it. Nothing can get glued to that, really. If you need to make any alterations to it, you have to double click to open it. So I double click, and now I can make alterations to it, and then I click outside of there, and that locks it again. Okay. So I'm gonna make a change to it. I'm gonna double click, and now I'm gonna make this a little bit shorter. So push pull tool, I'm gonna push it a little bit shorter, and then I'm gonna click outside of it, go back to the pointer up here, click on the pointer, come over to the drawing, click on the drawing. There. Now it's locked. See that? It's locked again. So I can't, if I try to draw something on top of that now, okay, if I try to draw something on there, let me pull that out, then those two things are not attached together. So if I take the move tool, there's the move tool, I can take that back piece and move it away. It's not attached. Okay. So I'm going to hit Control, and now watch what I do. When I'm done with this tool, I move over here to the pointer tool. I click once on the pointer tool or the select tool, and then click on the drawing somewhere. I'm going to hit Command. It's on a PC, it's Control Z, but here it's Command Z, and I just get rid of what I just did. Okay, and then you're supposed to draw the top part, which is this. Pull that up, pull it out, and there's the second part of your shelf. And when you're done with that, you triple click, 1, 2, 3, right click, make it a group. Okay, and then you put the two little knobs on there, and you group each one. Okay, so that's done with that. Now let's move on. So what I want to do now is I'm going to draw two projects. Okay, in this video I'm going to draw, let's go over here and have a look. I'm going to draw this, okay, just a regular coffee table. So that's a relatively simple project, and the difference this time is I'm going to put dimensions on it, and I want you to control the dimensions on your project, and you're going to draw it to a certain size. And then I'm going to draw this chair, okay, and again I'm going to put dimensions on it, and then you need to follow those dimensions. Okay, so let's go back to SketchUp here. So here's a coffee table. Let's just call this maybe 4 feet long, and let's say about 20 inches wide. It's very low. Let's make it just maybe 12, 13, 14 inches high, something like that. So we're going to draw coffee table. So I pick a rectangle, and I start drawing the rectangle like this. Okay, start pulling it out, and I'm going to type the dimensions in and then hit enter. Okay, so don't click a second time, only click the first time, and then start dragging it, but don't click. Right now I'm going to type the dimensions: 4 feet, comma, 20 inches, and I want you doing the same thing. Okay, and then hit enter, return, and that's it right there. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Okay, just go around here. All right, that's it. And then if you look at the photo, it looks kind of thick. You see that tabletop looks kind of thick, so I'm going to pull it up, and I'm going to pull it up 2 inches. Click once, start pulling up, hit 2 inches, 2 and return, because SketchUp defaults to inches. You don't have to put the quotation marks in. You can if you want. So 2, enter. Now it's 2 inches thick. Okay. And so that's basically the top done. Okay. So because the top is done, I'm going to take the select tool. I'm going to triple click 1, 2, 3, and right click, make it a group. Okay. Then now I'm going to put the legs on it. Okay, so notice I clicked outside the shape. It was highlighted like that. I just click outside the shape, and that gets rid of those. Okay, so now I'm going to go underneath. I'm going to flip it upside down, orbit down. Okay, and go underneath here. Let's go back to the picture. Have a look at these legs. So they're probably about 1.5 inches in, and they're about they're kind of thick legs. Those are probably like 3 by 3 or so, at least 2.5. So, okay, now watch what I do here. I'm going to come to the tape measure. There's the tape measure there, and I'm going to make lines in from the side and from the end. So I'm going to come in this way. So I start dragging the tape measure. See that? Start dragging it like that, and don't click a second time. Do this. Okay, let's say we want to come in 1.5 inches. That's 1.5, enter or return, and that gives me a line. I'll do the same thing down here. Start dragging it. Keep it on the red. You see how that line is red? That follows the proper axis. That means it's going parallel with the sides. So don't click a second time. Go 1.5, enter, like that. Same thing here. 1.5, enter, and then over here 1.5, enter. Okay, now let's focus on one leg. We're going to make one leg here. So you have to pull down from here. So scroll onto this line, click once, start bringing the line down like that. And let's do 3 by 3 legs here. So I'm going to come up here 3, which means 3 inches, return. And I'm going to come over this way, like this, 3, return. Okay, that gives me the size of the leg, and now I'm going to pull a rectangle here, like this, and click inside here. You see what I'm doing there? Okay, let me bring this down a bit. Okay, so I go from this corner, click once, bring it over, click, and push, pull. I'm going to create the leg here. I'm going to pull it down. So click once here, pull it down, and what did we say? We said between 12 and 14 inches high. So why don't we make this 11 inches? The leg is 11 inches. So I'm going to type 1, 1, and it defaults to inches. So 1, 1, return, like that. There's the leg. Okay, let's see how that looks. Okay, yeah, that looks nice. Okay, now, next thing is I have to do the other 3 legs. And to do the other 3 legs, you could draw each one individually, but I'll show you a quick way. So this leg is done. So what I want to do now is I want to group it, because anytime you're done drawing something, you group it so it's protected from everything else. So triple click 1, 2, 3, and then right click, make it a group. Okay, and that allows me to move, to take that object and to move it anywhere I want if I have to move it or whatever. Okay, hit the escape key. Did you see what I just did? I started to move it, and then I didn't want to, so instead of trying to place it back exactly where it was, I just hit the escape key here. Escape, and it goes back. And that gets me out of that tool. Now, we're going to do the other 3 legs. Okay, so like I said, you can draw each one individually, and that's fine. But here's another way of doing the same thing. I'm going to take the move tool. There's the move tool. And I'm going to move this over and copy it at the same time. So I'm going to grab this corner here. You see that? I'm going to grab that corner there, and I'm going to take it over here and put it right at that intersection there. Okay, so here's what you do. This is a Mac. If you're on a PC, start to move it. Start to move it like this and hit Control. Okay, that's what you do on a PC. If you're on a Mac, what you're going to do is you're going to hit the Option key before you do this. Option, and then you grab it, and then you move it, and that copies it at the same time. You see that? Okay. Now I'm going to do a similar thing, but watch this. This is cool here. So watch. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select both of these. So I'm using the select tool here. I'm going to select this leg and this leg. But you notice I can't select them at the same time. So what you do is you select one, then you hold the Shift key down, and then you select the other. Okay, now they're both selected. Now we're going to copy both. So how do we copy? Same as before. I just take the Move tool like this. Okay, and all I'm going to do is grab it right here, and I'm going to move it down to this intersection right down there. From there, down to there. Okay, so watch this. So if you're on a PC, you're going to start to move it and hit Control. All right, and it'll copy. If you're on a Mac, then you're going to hit the Option key, like I'm about to do. Okay, Option. So now I can move it, and it copies automatically. There they go, 2 legs for the price of 1. See that? And click, and I'm done. Okay. And so that's that. Now let's see what else we can do. Let's give it some color here. Okay. So materials, what do we got? Let's make it sort of a brownish. Okay, like that, like that, like that, like that, and like that. Okay. And the last thing that I want you to do to this is I want you to put dimensions on, which I didn't show you this before, but I'm going to show it to you now. You're going to put dimensions on this project. Okay, I showed you how to use the tape measure, which is fine, but there's an actual dimension tool. Let me just get rid of these lines here. Okay, so I'll just hit delete here. There we go. Okay, there is some tool that says delete all guidelines, but I'm used to using the desktop version of this. Okay, so there it is now. What did I say? I said to finish this off, we're going to put dimensions on it. So go down to the tape measure tool, click on the tape measure tool, and this is the dimensioning tool right here. See that? Dimensions. So you're going to come out here, and it's a purple. It's this purple dot, which is jumping all over the place on me right now. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to click there. I'm going to drag it down here. Click there, and lift it up. Okay, 4 feet long. You see that? And then we're going to go over here. Click, click, raise it up. 1'8", which is 20 inches, which is what we made it. And then for height, click here, and bring it out. That's not doing it, so I'm going to hit the escape key. I'll try the same thing over here. Click there, there we go. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's it. So you see that? 1'8" wide, 4 feet long, 1'1" high. Okay, that's the coffee table. Relatively simple project. The new skills there were how to copy and how to move and copy, and also the dimensioning. All right, it's important that you, when you draw this, have your drawing open at the same time, and just play my video and pause me when you're ready to go to the next step and back up and so on. Okay, just take your time with it. You'll be fine. And then you're going to take a screenshot and submit that. The other one that I do is going to be a more advanced project, which you don't have to do, but it's the chair. Okay, that's it.